All right, folks, welcome back. This is set 6 of the semifinals. And I've kind of got an echo here. I'm just going to kill that somewhere. Oh, and there's Josh. Excellent.
Sounds good now. Oh, there's Josh.
Hello.
Hi, Josh.
Hi. Nice to see everyone.
I would say it's nice to see you too, but you're sort of in a silhouette mode here. All I can see is a shadow of Josh.
I think I'll figure it out.
That's a little better.
Is it just a dirty lens, or is it something more than that?
No, it's just very dark, like you're in a very dark room.
I see. Let me get some light. I know what to do.
So, as we're just getting started here, this is set 6 of the semifinals. Both matches have a slight gap. I think Nichols up by 69, Fleischer slightly more ahead in their semifinal. I have with me Danny Sprung, and also, as recently advertised by Mitch Dunnish, the funniest player in bridge, Josh Don. So we're looking forward to wit, repartee, and great analysis. Thank you guys for joining me.
Thanks for having us. So we're watching Nickel and Katz versus Willenkin and Wolpert. Nickel's the captain of his team. Willenkin and Wolpert are playing for the Rosenthal team. We see a diamond was alerted here. I think that's just because one diamond showed 4. They're not playing any complicated methods. After that, Wolpert overcalled 2 clubs. Katz chose to bid his hearts right away instead of potentially bringing spades into the picture by bidding 2 hearts instead of making negative double, and they reached 4 hearts. Looks like 4 hearts should make pretty comfortably.
Did I fix my camera?
That's
Yeah,
great.
you look great now. Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't very funny so far. The only funny thing is trying to watch me use technology.
So at some point, Katz will lead ace and a spade and rough a spade. I'll take 5 hearts, 2 spades are 7, 2 diamonds are 9, a spade rough is 10.
Yep, with diamonds 3-2, it looks reasonably simple. Al noted in the chat that one diamond was alerted as, oops, didn't mean to alert that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Nick is not a huge fan of these tablets, and that's part of the reason is the fat finger possibilities. But yeah, I didn't think it was anything special. So here comes the ace and a spade.
Huh.
I shall return.
So we see Katz won the first diamond in hand, just in case diamonds had gone 4-1. This queen of diamonds wouldn't be roughing out his ace. Instead, it would be roughing air.
Well, now it should be pretty easy to make 5 because he'll set up his last diamond also. Top of everything he said. Like he could just play it now.
Yeah, he could. I'm not sure if somebody can pitch on a spade on the diamond and potentially cause problems for him if when he goes to rough his spade has to rough it. Yeah, it should be okay.
He always, yeah, it seems like he could just rough the spade high. I mean, you could do the same thing in many different orders.
Right. If Chris pitches a spade, he's getting over-roughed and dummy. Not a big deal.
Had they played a club instead of the diamond, then he would have never been able to set up a diamond because at the end he would have run out of trumps had he roughed a spade and drawn trumps after roughing a club. So either way, now let's sort of fall into making like just rough a spade with the queen of hearts and claim basically.
Yeah. They're in 4 hearts in the other room as well. Interesting, Greco chose to overcall 1 spade with King Jack 4th of spades, ace King Jack 5th of clubs. but that didn't have much effect on the play.
Yep, that first board is pretty flat around both matches.
So Nickel will start the pass. I don't think Wolpert, this is going to be within his range of opening. His 10 points, 9 cards in the majors is attractive, but I don't think that they're quite that light.
The way some of these pairs are opening makes me feel kind of old if I wouldn't open that hand. You're right. There's a good chance you won't.
I wouldn't. I mean, if you're playing Flannery, there's an argument for opening the hand just because you get your whole bid out with your whole hand out with one bid, but yeah, he just passed. So Cats will open a diamond. Nickel will respond a spade. I think they're just gonna play one no trump here.
If Rob Barrington's in the chat, he's about to time out Danny for using the F word there, of course.
The Flannery, well, the pair that does play Flannery in this match is not not playing. Greco and
Stephen Bobby, right?
Yeah, Stephen Bobby play.
So it's of interest. It's extremely light to club overcall. There's a lot of benefit to overcalling to close over one diamond. It can be a little hard for them to find major suit fits, or it doesn't have perfect shape for a negative double or something like that. And I think that's what prompts this particular two club overcall.
Yeah, it might be somewhat state of the match influence as well.
Yeah, maybe.
69. This is a sort of, it's not a psych. It's not, he has clubs. He's got some values, but he can probably guess that it's not going to be duplicated in the other room, and that might create a swing some way or other.
Mm-hmm.
And this has, 2 hearts, 2 spades, and a club off the top. That assumes you can play hearts to best advantage.
Yeah, you've also got to take care of your spade losers.
Yeah. Isn't he going to play to set up clubs?
I think you might start leading spades right away and sort of force the opponents to lead trumps for you. Beneficial. Now he also has this extra diamond trick coming.
Oh, that's helpful, yes.
Mm.
And you might even get a spade on power eventually. Like if you let a spade right away and South went up king, which it can be hard not to do, you're going to eventually get a spade trick on power. It looks tempting to me to just lead a spade at trick 2. You also don't have to commit in clubs either way, because you will be able to pitch a club from your hand on a diamond and sort of play either opponent for the king at some point.
1 prediction point to Josh. At some point, Josh, I know I would like to hear about how it was trying to manage 2 different systems playing in this event. That sounds like a big cognitive load.
I mean, I have experience doing that. There was a couple named Barbara and Gaylord Castle I played with for a long time, and Gaylord passed away, unfortunately. He was a well-known player. And I would often play on teams and play half of each session with each of them. And one played standard carding and one played upside down. They were completely in fact, one was playing precision, one was playing standard. It was completely opposite styles. In this event, I had 2 partners, but basically we were all playing the same system. They played like a different Blackwood response, a different type of Smith Echo, but the basic system was the same for both. And I played a lot with both of them, so that wasn't too taxing. Something, sorry, I'm looking at the hand. Cats found a good duck of the spade toward the queen. A lot of people would just hop up with that king at trick 2. But by ducking, he's prevented a spade trick from being immediately forced on power for east-west. So this turns out to be a pretty good start for the, I think.
So now can the defense cash ace of hearts, king of spades, spade rough?
Possibility. I don't expect that because he doesn't have any reason not to think Gavin has the jack of spades, right? For all he knows.
Yeah.
He could actually play a diamond now. If Nickel showed an odd number at trick 1, can't really cost a trick, sort of a safe exit, and it might even be good to sever the hands.
Yeah, the hurry there's no hurry to take a spade off with your deuce of hearts, since you do have the ace of trumps. You'll probably get a chance to do that later if that's what we do.
It sort of looks like the Claire's going to play another spade themselves because they already played one. And then you could do everything you just said at that point. It might be a little safer. They've now let it spade to their 10 or something.
If Gavin doesn't take the ace of diamonds right now, there's some chance he never gets it.
True.
So Greco did open one heart in the other room.
I'd say this is a pretty normal opening bid for a pair playing decision.
Yeah.
Basically, just open a point lighter than anyone else when they're not vulnerable.
And in the other match, both South has opened one no trump, which went pass, and East came back in with 2 trumps for the majors.
Yeah, no trump is fine if you are actively playing 14 to 16, but if that's an upgrade, it looks pretty sketchy.
Yep.
4 triple 3, no tens.
Sometimes it feels like kind of an arms race to open with less and open a no trump with less over time. Like who can stretch it the most, basically.
We've certainly seen Zach Grossack, for instance, open a couple of 13 counts in this tournament as a strong no trump.
Yeah. I think I used to be considered an aggressive player and that I didn't change at all how I bid. And now I'm kind of old and stodgy.
Me too. Except
Yeah.
I'm 1 generation older than you, Josh. So
It's just it's kind of like every other sport there is, really. The aggressive player is the one who wins usually. Yeah. He does want to take his ace of diamonds, but he's got to project the play because then he took his ace of diamonds to throw a club and then he played a spade. They're very likely to just get out in trumps and then he has to lead the spades from his hand. So I guess he's going to try that. I just hope they have to give him something at some point. Ralph will be able to play the ace of hearts for sure. So we'll go spade to the like 3, 10, and king. Now it's interesting if East spades were 10, 9, 8, he would want to go spade to the jack spade rough.
right.
If East spades were something like jack 10 third, it still wouldn't hurt him, I don't think.
And I guess
so Nickel went up jack, which actually is going to cost a trick. He wanted to lead the heart through again, which might have been good if Ralph had ace jack 10, but then he would have false carded the jack. I don't know if this was necessary.
Well, and I'm a little surprised by the queen of hearts too, because that takes away Gavin's guess in that suit.
That's true. So the jack of spades kind of blocked up the defense a little bit. And now this will just make, there's no more problems.
Yeah.
Even the 8 of hearts is high if you needed it. So
Greco Hampson are in 1 no trump in the other room. There's a potential.
after East open 1 heart, should you just go a heart pass and no trump all pass? Something like that.
No, on a heart, and Silverstein double with his 14 count with the worst shake possible. His partner responded a spade, pass back to Hampson and re-up with a double, and Greco chose 1 no trump, and that ended the auction.
Makes sense. If South had the 8 of hearts, they could play the 9 of diamonds now in rough with North and promote the trick back. But unfortunately for them, that's not the case.
Yeah, they know their deuce of hearts is not promotable.
Yeah.
They just access a heart. That's the end of that.
Now in this one, it looks like West has the sort of same type of thing where it's not really a traditional opener, but a lot of the players will open it nowadays.
You meant East, you said West.
Well, I meant West actually, although the same thing is true of East, I suppose.
Right.
West
Well,
probably will open in third seat anyway.
Yeah, I think there's actually more of an argument for the old days needing to open a spade with these sorts of hands, but I think everybody's going to open a spade if it gets passed to them here.
And again, in the other room, Greco is going to open that East hand in the precision context. It's just a normal 1 diamond opening.
I'm sure they will open any 11-point hand in first or second. So now East will bid a no trump, closed by West, probably 2 no trump by East. So this could get them a little high.
I'm gonna guess that East West have some sort of artificiality after a spade and no trump two clubs where they can show something extra with, they have 11 points. Maybe,
That would be a benefit to show a double in spade, but with a sounder hand. Then they could
yeah.
stop in two spades, which is a little more comfortable.
Yeah,
But
your hand
still
sort
a
of
little
doesn't look
tricky.
like it wants to play in no trump. You have, ace fourth, ace third on the side, and
Yeah. I mean, without any methods, if it goes a spade and no trump, two clubs, you sort of have to bid two no trump. You have
sure.
11 points and no fit that you're aware of. But you're right, it looks a little scattered. Not there's very far from having any sort of source of tricks in these 10.
And no slow stuff like Jack tens and Queen 10 9s, which are more valuable in no trump than they are in a suit contract. So if East had say ace 10 9 fourth of hearts, two low spades, ace 10 9 fourth of hearts, Queen 10 9 fourth of diamonds, that way more attractive no trump. But yeah, we do see the two spade bid, which shows a good preference.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, but that exact hand probably would have been opened actually. But your point is still true.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, well, I deducted the jack of spades. I made that the deuce
Oh, I see.
to keep it at 10 or 11 points.
Now during two spades, Nickel has an uncomfortable lead to make.
Well, he's going to probably choose between the red. So he might try to go passive with a club, although that's not necessarily passive. And then it's a choice between the red suits if he doesn't do that.
Yeah, the thing with the diamond here is you wouldn't know to lead the king or jack, and therefore the 8 of diamonds could be ducked to the 10, sort of making the queen into a stopper.
Yeah.
Would definitely help Lincoln keep some trump control.
Feels like a heart. Yeah, he led a heart. It feels like a heart is the more attractive lead than the.
Yeah, it's basically just safer.
Yeah. And
And as we
safer.
were
Now,
discussing in the other match, Eddie Wall and Venkat on a one spade, one no, two clubs. You get a 2-0 response, raise to 3 clubs, raise to 4 clubs. They're playing at the 4 level on these cards.
Yeah, that's an advantage of having some artificiality to show the constructive hand at the 2 level.
it also shows, I mean, I would open this one spade also with third seat, but it shows the danger of opening a little light. Sometimes it's hard to convince partner that you've done it. West never really got the chance to show that the opening was light, and suddenly they were in clubs.
Well, traditionally, a light opening bid would pass partner's first response, but I think that tradition has gone away somewhat, especially when you have, a good 5-card major and a suit on the side. You might just hope to survive a spade and no trump 2 clubs.
So now they go a heart and a heart. Well, they kind of blocked the hearts now. I mean, he wouldn't know to play low on this, I don't think. It's weird
Well,
because what you would expect West to duck if they had the queen in one.
right. Yeah. So he
But
might have.
now when he returns a heart, West could throw a diamond. They could still keep tapping him in diamonds, but they sort of blocked up their hearts a little. It looks pretty normal to throw a diamond away now and try to postpone the inevitable, I suppose. The West is trying hard not to get tapped because they want to draw as many trumps as possible and then start running clubs.
So they throw a diamond, they rough the diamond return, they cash the ace of spades. If they then just play clubs, they will make the contract, I think, just exactly.
Yes, absolutely. That would be guarding against 4-2 spades and needing 3-2 clubs. So he just roughed it.
Which I guess gets you to the same line, cash ace of spades again, play clubs. Oh.
I suspect he's gonna play 2 rounds of clubs, and then once he sees they're good, then they can just cash ace of spades and continue with what you were suggesting.
If he does take another spade finesse, is that going to cause trouble?
No.
Oh.
This could have been necessary if the spades were 3-3 and the clubs were 4-1, possibly. Although even then, I think you could have played 2 rounds of clubs and let them get a rough and sort of gotten away with it.
And now I think you're behind in the race, right?
This is danger.
Yeah.
Nick needs to get out either the king or the jack of diamonds, not the 8, I believe.
I like the king here, king then jack, because just to make sure partner can't misread the jack, like thinking they have to go up base. And North has the entries anyway with the trumps. Go king then jack, and West roughs, and eventually North roughs a club and will be on lead to lead another diamond through the queen. It just
Actually,
kind of makes things easier on partner, I think, than leading the jack. They have to really figure out now you have king jack third.
even a live diamond's the ace, I think will do it because now you can just cash the jack of hearts and force with hearts instead. But
That might even be better because that would allow Nick to pitch a club on the heart, which would mean Chris could only cash one more club.
well, we're gonna see. We're gonna see if they do it this the right way.
Although I think he gets a diamond on trick 13 in that line.
Yeah, either way, North just gets the one trump trick. Now South will lead the heart for sure. Why would you lead a diamond up into the queen?
So Chris is going to make two spades, one club, and I think the diamond queen, and go down one.
Sorry if I had a little background noise, but the background noise is like us.
In the other room, East West, Greco, as predicted, did open the diamond. They're playing two spades by West after the opening bid. Even though the other hand opened the bidding.
West showed some kind of invitational hand.
No, he didn't even invite. He just
Signed off.
Just signed off on two spades.
Just goes to show you how like they would be open.
The lead was a diamond and not a heart, and now Hampson just ducked the diamond and is shedding a heart on the second diamond, and now he's in total control on it seems on the hand.
Okay, so good nickel. This is quite a hand.
Well,
Yeah.
the lead was typically the diamond 8. If Andrew Rosenthal had led a diamond, oh no, that might have made things easier on his side.
The sort of hand you pick up and you're like, I don't want to be in fourth chair here, because the bidding could be too high before it gets to me. But turns out the partner has the only hand that's going to bid.
Yeah. This is a hand where the location of values is really important. If West Ace King was in diamonds instead of clubs, they'd make a grand slam. And now they can't make any slam so long as the diamond's led.
Yeah, and this is the sort of hand that you might, if you're in need of a swing, if say partner responds two hearts, you might just guess some large number of hearts and hope that they don't find the winning diamond lead, if there is one.
Mm-hmm.
That wouldn't work out.
Or you take a splinter in diamonds, yeah.
Yeah, you could choose the Zia-esque route of pretending you have a singleton diamond, hoping to induce a club lead.
And some of these things always work. People, the exclusion in diamonds, really try to pretend they have no diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
So here, he might bid 3 hearts if it's forcing, or else he could bid 2 diamonds. But he'll definitely be thinking about slam, because as you can see, with the same high cards in different places in the West End, grand slam. Gavin will investigate somehow. I think it's very likely he could just bid 3 hearts forcing here, but it depends what they play.
And almost certainly 2 diamonds would be a game force with less specific. So 3 hearts probably just game force. We're playing hearts and move on from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The reason it's nice to have a 3 heart bid available right away when you know you want to play in hearts is you might bid 2 diamonds and partner bids something, and then you bid 3 hearts, partner bids like 3 no trump, and now you've never really gotten to agreeing hearts at all. You might still survive it, but it's much simpler to just have one bid right away that says we're playing in hearts, and now partner will do bid or do something appropriate.
So the other table, Hampson is wrapping up 2 spades. Let's go another 4 imps for nickel.
Or clubs. This is it looks like a splinter in support of his own hearts, like a self auto splinter kind of thing.
It could have been the G word, which we're not allowed to say on Twitch here, but
yeah, probably not with his actual hand.
Yeah.
So we were worried about it. Yes, I made a 4 club bid like this last week playing live bridge, and they asked what it meant, and I told them, and I thought it couldn't be anything but a splinter. It wasn't this exact auction, but some auction like this. They said just had to make sure it wasn't Gerber.
We have had at least 1 Gerber auction on these trials. 2 no trump, 4 clubs, aces, 7 no.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. We had a local player in Las Vegas that used to play at the club for which every 4 club bid was Gerber. End of story. At least they knew what it meant. That's the good thing you could say about it.
So Welenkin's got some attractive values about his hand. He's got a maximum in high card points. He's got 14. He's got 3 trumps to the queen, which his partner is missing the queen of hearts for sure. He's got a doubleton for a roughing value.
Yeah.
As against that, he has the ace king in his partner splinter. So I still think he's worth 1 move, especially if he can just bid 4 diamonds as sort of a last train bid.
You'd be a little scared to bid 4 diamonds and have it get doubled. I guess it might be okay in the sense that if partner has no diamond control, you really didn't have slam. If partner has one, a diamond lead's not a big deal.
Hmm?
So he's just, is this a spade cubit possibly? Maybe 4 spades is key card for hearts.
He hasn't alerted it yet.
Maybe we'll be able to tell by if Gavin's bid is alerted. You know, I thought there's something interesting this is reminding me of that I had never thought of until I played this trials. And I've played on tablets before. So this was wow, what was going on? I can't think of a meaning of 4-no that makes this make a lot of sense.
Blackwood, and then he just showed 3 odd with a void.
So Blackwood, and he decided I'm never going to bid 7, maybe. So I'll just go to 6 hearts.
Well, the diamond lead is, I think, even more likely than it was previously.
Yeah. It's hard to imagine why you would not lead it. You have the king queen anyway, and nothing else is jumping out.
All right, so this is
So I'll tell you, this is going down. I'll tell you the interesting thing that happened is they opened a precision diamond on my left, which was not my screen mate. Or, sorry, pardon me, that was my screen mate. And so figuratively, we passed the tray. And partner bid 2 diamonds, and it went 2 spades on my right. And I knew that we played 2 diamonds as natural over the precision 1 diamond. But let's suppose I didn't know that, and I was wondering how partner meant it. Well, I can tell because they either did or didn't alert 2 spades. On the other side of the screen, if 2 diamonds was natural, then 2 spades is natural. They won't alert it. But if 2 diamonds was majors, 2 spades would mean something else, and they would alert it. And so this is actually a kind of a problem. The problem isn't with the electronic playing environment per se. It's with the alerts coming from the player who makes the bid rather than from the player only on your side of the screen.
Sure. You have different. You it's a good thing in that you know when they're having an accident, you can benefit from that. But in this and on this previous board where 6 hearts went down, Greco started it similarly. His partner showed 14 to 16, and he transferred and then showed short clubs. His partner signed off over that. He's a minimum for his 14 to 16, whereas Gavin was Chris was a maximum for his 12 to 14. And I think
what the bids meant. Sure. I guess corner comes with Blackwood if he didn't alert it.
Yeah. I'm thinking Greco might be worth 1 more try or 4 hearts, and he's thinking about that right now. So we'll see how that goes. But
we're kind of missing out on this hand here, which is a grand slam on a finesse with a wasted ace, no less.
Yeah. All right. He's Q bid spades. He bid 4-no trump over 4 hearts, which was a spade Q bid. I think if Hampson now bids 5 clubs, they can sign up in 5 hearts and save the day here.
Now, this south hand is the kind where you can go for a swing. And I think a way you might do that is, let's suppose you find a heart fit, is to just bid regular Blackwood. And you might even bid a grand slam opposite 3. And if you're off the ace of diamonds, it's great. I mean, first you would ask for the queen of hearts. If you're off the ace of clubs, you may get to throw it on the ace of diamonds if they don't lead it. And if you're off the king of hearts, you might have a finesse. So you sort of have a chance off 3 of the 4 different key cards, possibly.
Yeah.
I feel very silly being off the ace of spades, though. But that's the kind of thing you might do if you really needed a swing. Ralph would certainly not do it in this situation. Try to be as accurate as possible.
Yeah, and in the other room at Silverstein Rosenthal, we're probably less likely to be as creative looking for swings in this spot. But Greco bid 4-no trump spade cubit, got a 5 club cubit back, and just jumped to 6 hearts, and this looks like it's going to be a push.
Which doesn't strike me, but I would have thought one of the 2 of them must have implied a diamond control to keep cubiting.
Right. So six hearts is play from the other side, so Rosenthal's going to need to lead his ace of diamonds instead of the easier king queen of diamonds lead. But
You know, he might do it, but it's not a. You think when they cubit spades, cubit clubs, and jump the slam, they have diamonds controlled.
right,
You don't expect you're catching the ace king.
Greco has apparently explicitly shown a club void, so you don't have that many options.
On this one, the 4 club bid looks like it agrees hearts. I think if North wanted to agree spades, they would just bid 3 spades over the 3 heart bid. So now it's not obvious how it will continue at all. I mean, Ralph will head towards slam, or Nick will head towards slam, it appears. He has all great cards for slam, opposite of spade and heart hand. Be able to find out they're missing something. Hearts and stop in 6. Having out a finesse, but you didn't have, let's say, the 10 or the jack of hearts, you would never want to risk 7.
Rosenthal did
really
really
don't.
diamonds, so we should be getting a flat board there.
Okay. It traditionally shows 2 with a void, but in support of hearts, Ralph has only 1 key card. They might play something a little different. It's possible that this is sort of a double key card thing, like when they show both suits.
Mhm.
The king of both suits is a key card. That's not impossible.
So he's alerted as 2 key cards plus a void.
Interesting if he's considering the king of spades a key card, or if he just made a mistake. It may convince Nick to bid 7. If he thinks he's opposite ace king of hearts, he may just take a chance on the king of spades. Nick does also, I mean, if South was 5-5, he'd have to worry about the 1 extra card in the minors. But maybe it could go on the spades,
Yeah,
or maybe he'd be 5-6. But it's something he'd at least have to think about. He doesn't actually have 13 tricks even opposite ace king of hearts, king of spades. He sort of has 12 in that. Okay, so anyway, about 3 seconds, I think.
the
Even
play will be
if he
quick on
didn't plan on finessing, the king will pop up.
The play will take very little time. Yeah.
Yeah.
no more
I think he
cards.
probably was playing a heart to the ace. You wouldn't want to risk like 4 a heart to the ace. You basically can't go down.
Okay, in the other room, over 1 no, South bid 6 spades.
Well,
He's
that is
basically,
a potential swingy kind of action by Silverstein.
yeah,
It turns out
it
it's
can
not.
swing a lot of ways. He can avoid a club lead and make a slam that was off 2 tricks, or he could get the slam off, like, let's say, if his partner had ace third of spades but was missing the queen, a table might miss a slam thinking they're off the queen of trumps if they thought it was a 7-2 fit. So that can gain in a few ways.
Can gain in one more way. Rosenthal might think, wow, I've got the ace, queen of spades, ace of clubs, ace of diamonds. Maybe I should bid 7.
I'm wondering. 6 spades was alerted as to play.
I mean, if I have the north hand, one thing I'm thinking is one of these aces is probably opposite of void.
Sure.
Jumping the 6 spades like this. Queen of hearts.
Oh, he did bid 7
He's up.
spades.
Bid 7.
Wow.
Yep.
Wowsy.
Well, it also won't take that long to play.
Good partnership agreement.
Yeah.
So this will be 13 imps to Rosenthal, making the match a good bit closer.
You had to start somewhere, and that was a very good start.
Yep. So back in the room, we're watching normal club. 1 spade overcall. 3 hearts, I'm assuming, is preemptive.
North kind of doesn't want to, but kind of might feel like they have to bid 3 spades. I mean, it's not that 3 spades will really get you in trouble. It's that if you had a 10 count, you might do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. You sort of want to bid 3 final spades and hope partner doesn't bid 4, because if partner bids, if you're making 3, partner's going to bid 4.
Right? You want to bid 3 spades and have it show this strength, but it doesn't really show any particular strength.
Well, I know Woolsey plays a lot of these doubles of 3 hearts in the spade auctions are one spade raise and the other three, the direct raise is a different strength, so he wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to untangle that.
Right, so 4 hearts here. It's an interesting bid. I think he's kind of bidding it to make. Which one? Very well may make. The queen of diamonds is on, the 4th club can become good.
And I don't
So,
think defense can play diamonds, so he'll have time to set up that 4th club trip.
right. Seems like you'll duck a club and hope the 4th one's good, and ultimately you'll have to guess the diamonds. So you'll lose a club, a heart, and a diamond in that case, throw a diamond on the long club. You could also play for both diamonds on side, but South sort of implied more strength than North did with an overcall compared to a random raise, if anything. So I'm not sure. I would be less likely to think diamonds are both on side and more likely to hope for clubs 3-3 after that. May also be an end play. Let's say the defense wins the ace of hearts and plays a spade. You play heart to the king and they're 2-2. You could ruff the last spade and play 3 rounds of clubs and force the defense to play diamonds from one side or the other. In that case, defense would hope for North to win it and play a low diamond and force him to guess right there. But I think something like that might even be likely to happen. The defense is not going to want to open either minor here.
The other match was also tightening a little. Eddie Wald and Venkat won a swing for staying out of the 6 hearts with the 2-dot diamond lose.
Who knew that it was so difficult to stay out of slam off an ace king?
Yeah,
I guess it is. Yeah, so now a heart to the king will draw all the trumps. You need clubs 3-3 anyway. You can ruff the last spade and play 3 rounds of clubs. Which, if South wins it, you can claim. But can you? He'll either have to give a rough and discard, and you'll have another discard on the club, or he'll have to lead diamonds. And if North won it and played a diamond, you'd be no worse off. You'd just have to guess.
so in order to stop the end play, Rob's gonna unblock the queen of club. He just put a club to the 10, so never mind.
This is a possible play too. It's good if North has 4 clubs. Let's say Jack 9 4th, you could play the king, the queen would drop, and you could finesse the 8 if that's something you thought would work. So I could certainly see why he did this.
So
if you
here-
weren't playing for the end play, you would not ruff the spade because you'd just be tapping for no reason.
Mhm. 4 hearts was reaching the other table. Greco having opened one the trump with the east card, shutting out north south.
Hmm.
They still got a spade lead anyway. So Hampson is in the same spot at trick 1 with less information to go on as far as what the opponent's hands look like.
Right.
In fact, he may find out that South has substantial values in 5 spades and didn't bid and might guess the diamond's wrong for that reason.
It's true.
On the Grand Slam hand, Doug and Eric Caldwell, opened a strong club. Chip Martell came with 2 no trumps, which is not surprising. He's about 6-5 in the minors. And Marty Fleischer boosted to 5 clubs before they really exchanged much information. So they're going to struggle to find out scientifically whether they have a grand note.
Hmm. So now he could play a club. He could just play a diamond. He's going to have to guess it anyway. Or he could play a club, draw a diamond, turn to his hand, and still.
Does it cost him anything to play clubs just to see what's going on in the club suit?
If they didn't break and you had to go back to your hand, you'd need both diamonds on side. So you'd have to like rough something back to your hand, maybe rough a spade and play a diamond. And even if it won, you have to come back one more time. I mean, maybe it works, but it seems a little more complicated.
You still have the entries. You still have the entries not to get yourself tapped out. I think that's what Lincoln's probably thinking about now is, can I afford to do that? Or do I need to play the diamond now?
Yeah, I mean, there's really no disadvantage to playing the diamond now, other than you might learn something, but I don't know what you're really going to learn by playing the other. You do have to guess the diamond at some point, and if your plan is a diamond to the 10 either way, you just do it now. In case they're both on side, it's simple.
Against a lesser pair, you might get some sort of signal that you can trust, but I don't think that.
Right. Also, if there was a diamond to the 10, and let's say it forced the ace, king of diamonds and try to squeeze someone with the queen of diamonds and long clubs would be an option.
Okay, that's a good reason not to do that. They did make four hearts in the other room, so
here he's gonna. I don't see why he'd get this wrong. Maybe there's not much of a clue either way. You could argue.
In the other room, South switched to ace and a diamond, which made the whole thing very easy.
Really makes it boring for the spectators. I see, but he couldn't see the east hand. He could see the west hand. So for all he knew, his side had ace, king, queen of diamonds or something.
So I think Gavin knows that Nick has the king of spades, very likely. I'm going to bet that he gets this right.
I mean, you could probably go either way, but it just seems kind of normal to get it right. Like you usually play the king if you really think it's more likely to work. And if you shrug and you're not sure, you just tend to just play the 10 because they would have made a mistake and played the ace or something. But maybe there's not even a very good reason for that. It's just how people tend to do it.
yeah, and once again, this might be a spot where maybe Wolankin's thinking that we get to the same spot at the other table and play for a swing.
Yeah, well, what would be nice about playing the king and having it work is it means they could have always beaten you, switching to diamonds. If the South had the queen and North had the ace, they could have played diamonds themselves to set up two diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, I guess, in that sense, the king could be tempting. I feel like, well,
There
they
it
played it.
is.
I think the bidding probably would have been the same either way, so there wasn't really a clue in that regard. South has a one spade overcall, North has a three spade bid.
All right, those 13 imps were most of them are coming back on this end. So it's gonna be 10 imps to nickel.
Not good for the match time, though.
So with East as dealer, East club and a hearts. So pass with the spade. Not clear what North would do favorable. I mean, they're a pretty sound pair. A lot of people might bid three diamonds. A lot of people
Yeah,
probably
three
more
diamonds.
pass.
3 diamonds might be tempting, but that ace jack 10 8 4 of hearts sort of feels like if they stop and double you, you're not, they may not even have a game here. So I might, if he had a side suit in clubs, it'd be a lot more tempting to bid.
Their nickel and cats are pretty sound, I think. Probably the soundest pair left in this event. Them and Levin Weinstein, maybe. So I don't really know what you could certainly pass. No one could criticize. He passes. We had no trump by East. And West might be able to show an invitation with this sort of shape. Or he might force the game. His suits are very nice. Could easily belong a game opposite a hand that would not accept an invitation.
Yeah, I vulnerable opposite a sound opening bidder, I would just force the game with this hand. I mean, it might be, and he does as well. Opposite you might be a little more conservative, but here he's going to find the 3-card spade support and just go right to 4 spades and not tell the opponents anything about his hand.
Yeah. So there's a heart and a diamond to lose on the surface. But the clubs are 5-1, and something has to be done with all of them. We'll also see if he learned his lesson or leads the diamond to the king again.
Yeah.
And now that might be very likely, actually. North is doubling the 2 diamond bid. I could certainly see why. If they get the 3-no trump, your partner is probably going to lead a minor. And if you don't help him, it's going to be a club, which is not what you want. Now, it's interesting. Gavin has his 3-card spade support, but 2 diamonds is doubled on his right. He very well might think the ace, queen of diamonds are on his right, and that 3-no trump is a safer contract. So I wonder what the redouble means. Not really sure.
They're not alerting it.
Oh, he's just going to play in 2 diamonds redoubled. So maybe Chris thought they showed 4 diamonds.
Wow.
That was not what we expected this round up. Okay.
Well, this is interesting.
This
If
is
I
a
was
lot.
North, I would 100% lead like the 10 of diamonds. I would try to get all their trumps away as fast as I possibly could. The club lead, I mean, I'm sure they'll be fine. I cannot see this making or anything like that. I mean, he does have some tricks. So the club's on side, even though they're 5-1. The Heart King's on side. He's got 2 top spades. He's got a natural diamond trick. So if he wins this and he fails to play a trump, they'll get the King of Hearts, a heart ruff. So let's say let's just pretend he would win this and play a spade, which is not the best defense. And declare can go ace of spades, king of hearts, heart ruff, king of spades. He's got a club that makes 5. I mean, he's still not close to making. This is just going to be a disaster, I think.
Yeah.
And vulnerable to boot. Not a great result.
He's going to get 2 spades. He's going to get 1 diamond. He's going to get the king of hearts. This should be down 3. I mean, if he wins this and just plays the 10 of diamonds, he'll probably go jack. He might both be on side. Whether he played jack or king wouldn't matter. It would go ace and another. And they do. It depends. When they play a club eventually, a rough it or the 3rd spade, North will rough it. And they'll have to give East the king of hearts, but the North South will have like the other hearts and the rest of the tricks. Or what the redouble was really intended as, it's not clear to me. Maybe just showing some good diamond. Maybe he thought he couldn't really have 4 diamonds here, so he's showing like 3 good diamonds.
That's what I was
But
thinking. You know, it's certainly possible that Nick made a somewhat frivolous double, and he was hoping Chris had 4 diamonds. They could play a 4-3 fit with a million high card points and just make it on power. That sort of
Yeah.
situation.
I mean, I think he could pass it. Some people, you know, in theory, the one on trumpet sort of denies a 4-card minor, but people will do it with 2-5, 4-2 kind of all the time. And I would really think I was showing 4 diamonds with the redouble. It's just my instinct. It's not something I've really thought of before or anything, you know.
Yeah. Once again, that may be the sort of spot where you could pick up a big swing if 2 diamonds redouble was making with an overtrick opposite, say ace-10, ace empty 4th of diamonds when Nick had queen 10, 9, 6.
Yeah, I think that has to have been in Gavin's head.
So when North should draw the last trump, of course, and even see it. And I think he could even play a low heart to simplify things. West can't have started with queen 3rd. He would have supported it. It just doesn't make sense. And so either one of the 2 players, the queen is falling, or South has queen and 1. Either way, North could just play a low heart, try to unblock them, make it simple. But he has enough trumps so he could block them, and it doesn't even matter.
So meanwhile, at the other room, Hampton's in 4 spades and touch and go contract. He may feel like if he makes it or if he goes down, that he's in danger of potentially losing a 12 in the swing, not realizing that he's likely winning double digits no matter what he does. Nice feeling.
It's a very nice feeling if you go down 100 on that and your teammates are plus 1600 and you just won 17 imps for going down in game.
Yep. He does play the 8 of hearts. Well done, Nick.
Yeah. Ralph didn't want to throw a spade, probably just in case North had queen and 1, even though that would give West very little high cards for the 2 diamond bid. He'll just play another heart. He could set up the last heart, but it doesn't matter. North just has 3 more tricks.
Right. This will be 3 down for, like you said, 1600.
So if he goes down in game, the difference is 1500. They'll win 17, and if he makes game, then we're at 620 and 1500 is 2220, which is 20. So whether he makes game or not is only a 3 imp difference, which is kind of unusual.
All right.
He's going down in game, but as you say, he'll be very happy to win a bunch of imps in that hand.
Yeah, it looks like 15. It's a lot better than I usually do when I go down a game. Usually I just find out I shouldn't have bid game. And I lose 6 or 7.
1600.
And so the gap is, you know, up to getting close to triple digits. It's really getting quite serious for the Rosenthal team here.
Well, this is the kind of result where you could easily, it could start to slip away. You know, it can affect you mentally. You can be upset at partner. I mean, these two, I don't think were a regular partnership before this event. And so this is the sort of danger of not having a practice partnership. I play in unpracticed partnerships too, but this is what can happen.
So East has an interesting hand opposite strong no trump. Obviously, he could be making slam very easily opposite ace king, ace ace, or the equivalent.
If he can kick our club to see he's off to, it should end
Mhm.
peace. Which the only, I mean, the only real danger to five clubs would be if they could lead a diamond to North ace and North could play a spade through the king. Ace of spades on side. There's no problem.
So on some other layout where both South has both aces, it's possible that in no trump you never even see those clubs. Not that East would ever.
Absolutely. Where they might lead a spade, even give you the king, let's say. And
Yeah.
South just had the ace of diamonds.
Yep.
I mean, he's going to want to play in clubs. You can see that he's off the two top clubs, so he might have to set them up, and there could be danger of never reaching them. And also, to look for slam, you sort of have to show your clubs to bid key card for them.
So the auction started a strong no trump in the other room, and Rosenthal chose to overcall two clubs showing majors where nickel passed. So you can see where nickel stands on the conservative scale here with that bid
Sure,
or lack thereof.
probably have some way to show a good hand with clubs there. Gavin called the director. Huh. I wonder if there was an issue on the last hand. So what could it have been? I mean, the double of two diamonds is pretty self-explanatory. Those diamonds, I think we would.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's. Oh, he's called the director because he alerted two clubs as range or something, and he meant it with two spades.
Oh, he even put in the explanation. You know, but this is
This is
going to
an
be tricky for
opportunist
him
club.
because if you're sort of finger slipped and you just click two clubs when you didn't mean it, they would let you change it. But what's likely is, and this happens to people, he's first of all distracted by what happened on the last hand, and then which could happen to anyone, and then he knows the bid is two spades on this hand. I mean, he's taught it, he's done it a million times, but he's looking at clubs and the word clubs is just flashing in his head, and then he just bids two clubs for that reason, you know. So they are letting him take it back, which is good for him. I mean, I wouldn't have not been shocked if they didn't. Even if they didn't, though, he probably would just bid two clubs and five clubs. What could you do at that point, you know?
Well, two clubs and five clubs might be exclusion for whatever major partner shows up both sides.
Maybe, or two clubs and three clubs, and then five clubs. I mean, he could still get the clubs. It wouldn't have killed him, probably.
This
But
hand has a strange deja vu element to me. So there was a hand in the Lille World Championships many years ago where Joanne and I were playing, and she had a similar club suit to this, and we ended up playing six no trump because we had a admitting misunderstanding. I was able to unblock my ace of clubs and cross the dummy and make six no trump off the entire diamond suit and some other stuff as well.
Mhm.
But yeah, so here I think he's gonna be able to bid key card or yeah, if he just bids four clubs and that's key card, then as Josh said, that will solve all the problems. At the other table, Greco just bid, sorry, go ahead.
Well, that reminds me of the hands. I think we've all heard stories like six no trump makes at one table and three no trump goes down at the other because they lead their king back fifth against three no trump and partner has the ace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, opposite a minimum, he isn't really thinking even about slam. Because two no trump did show a minimum. Actually, kind of interesting. Chris did show a minimum. I probably would have shown a maximum.
Yeah, I agree.
Sort of in the middle. If it's in the middle, you did show a maximum. I mean, defense is hard. Who knows what West is really worth? Unless it was something probably 16 count. So, problem. Maybe this would be a push.
Yep. How's the other match going, Ewan?
No big movements. Fleischer's still up 181, 118. But the scorecards been pretty flat, really.
Tell you, having played the match against them, I mean, our team made mistake after mistake, but they were playing incredibly. They were really on fire. In the first 4 days, they won by like 500 imps.
Yeah, so I'm looking at that. Simpson has gained 17 this set.
It's that one swing where Eddie and Venkat stayed out of 6 hearts, missing the king of diamonds.
Right, right. They also won 7 on a 2 diamonds double making with an over trick. That match actually has gotten closer, and this match has gotten further out of reach.
Here's another possible slam. East West, as the cards are, it looks very easy to make 6 diamonds. I think it's a pretty decent contract. I mean, you need diamonds 3-2, and after that, you don't really need much at all. Just you have to do something. Let's say you consider to use the master hand. You would just have to rough a heart and either rough the last spade or have it be good. Considering you have the 10, you have pretty good odds.
Yeah, so once you get past the diamond, I mean, if you grant the 3-2 diamonds, you have 3 spades, 3 hearts, 4 diamonds on length, and 1 for rough is 11. You just need a 12th trick from somewhere.
I guess the question is, will Gavin even look for slam here? They get 16 points opposite a minimum opener, and one club that won no trump usually won't have 4 diamonds in it. It does here because of the awkward shape. I mean, I guess he could look, but suppose he bid 2 diamonds and partner did bid 3 diamonds. He's bidding 2 diamonds to look for a spade fit, probably.
Yeah, sure.
When West bids 3 diamonds, sort of showing 4 or 5 in the minors, it's sort of a question: do you want to go past 3 no trump or don't you? You have to decide right away, almost. I see. So Chris has not even bothered to show his diamonds. I mean, they won't get slammed if no one shows diamonds.
Right.
Seems straight there.
Meanwhile, in the other room, Hampson started with a precision 1 diamond, which doesn't really show diamonds, but then when he rebid 2 clubs, he's showing presumably 9 cards in the minors one way or the other, and now Greco does have a potentially appealing hand.
Yeah, I think Greco will be able to find out his shape, but it's still a little risky because West has like an ace more than they would need to open with this shape.
Right. What Greco would really want would be to find out the partner's 5 diamonds and 4 clubs, not the other way around.
Right. Or, I mean, the reason this is slam is the clubs are rather weak and the diamonds have a lot more strength. That would be a hard thing to diagnose below 3 no trump.
Well, you could conceivably make it if, say, the queen of spades was the king of clubs as well.
Yes.
Now you have a club sorts of tricks instead of the spade sorts of tricks, but
It's possible. Or some things like the 10 of diamonds could make it a little better than what it is.
So again, back in the other match, Eddie and Venkat have bid 6 diamonds, which is a potential swing in for them. May make that match even closer.
They're certainly getting all the slam hands right, it looks like.
Yeah, this is the sort of set you want to have when you're down 60 or 70 imps. There's been plenty of opportunity for swings on many boards. You get all these hands right, and you get three slam swings your way. That's 40 of the 70 you're down, and now it's a real match again.
I think when you're in the room and you're West here, you ask the opponent in the room with you how many diamonds they have, just so you know how much to claim. And then you claim. I mean, I guess you could play some tricks, hope they throw a diamond.
He's
Stare.
gone past there.
Yeah. Any defender looking at king 4 at the time as a dummy is probably not going to throw from a 4-card diamond holding.
Sure. He might try to lead a club up and see if something interesting happens.
Yeah. It certainly couldn't hurt. I mean, they're not going to be behind on time. If I was behind on time, I would for sure claim it trick 1. What's interesting, I didn't know until I got there. I mean, I know they have time penalties. The time is allocated to each team separately. But I learned that if your team goes over on time, you get the penalty, even if your match finishes on time. So you could even be in the first match to finish and get a time penalty. I don't necessarily disagree with it, but it was just interesting.
I tend to agree with that because otherwise you're in a situation where if your opponents are playing, your opponents have played slowly through the first 8 or 10 boards. Now you have incentive to slow down and potentially get them in a situation where they do have a penalty. Whereas if you have your own clock, there's no incentive to slow down.
it kind of is actually. Like, let's just pretend north-south, we're behind on time here.
Mhm.
West could play this out to the bitter end instead of claiming at some point,
Sure,
just to make north-south use a little of their time.
that's the other side of it. But you know, in this exact spot where dummy has a 15 count and opposite a sound opening bid, they know that they're just defending for over tricks.
Right.
They're not going to take.
It was something we talked about at the tournament that, I mean, if I have a claim, I'm just going to claim.
Mhm.
But if your opponents are down on, or, running low on time, should you, play out hands more? Maybe if you don't have all the tricks, you might have claimed anyway, just what you had, you could try to play it out and try more for a little extra trick.
Yeah. There is no perfect solution to the time problem in bridge.
No.
Some of this discussion points exactly the problems that we're talking about.
There isn't. Anyway, I was glad they were like doing something about it. And some teams went over on time a little bit. They had a grace period. In the first round, it was 7 minutes for the match. In the second round, I think it was 10. So you could go over on time a little without getting penalized. And even after that, the penalties were very small at the beginning.
So here, Lincoln was playing for a legitimate potential squeeze as well. If one person had the ace of clubs and say 5 hearts,
He got his squeeze, in fact.
yeah.
South had the ace of clubs and 4 hearts at the end. So
Right.
there you go.
Yeah.
As soon as Josh complimented Eddie and Venkat on their slam meeting, they bid 6 clubs on the hand where Gavin had 8 clubs, whatever it was, for the Queen Jack. Got double the weight.
Off 2 aces.
Yeah.
I really owe them an apology for jinxing them like that. It was very rude of me.
Commentators jinx.
Yeah.
Greco and Hampson are still bidding. Each one of them has taken 6 calls now, and they're at the 5 club level. And which is sort of the moment of the truth, because they're either going to, he's still going, so they're going to get the 6 diamonds.
I mean, it's interesting. Sometimes a slam goes down because you just lack a few tricks or your trump suit's a little weak. But usually the slam off an ace king, or especially the slam off 2 aces, is not that hard to avoid. But they're struggling today.
Yeah.
These excellent pairs.
Oh yeah,
Well,
the situation of I said there could be a squeeze if there was 5 hearts, ace of clubs. There was 5 hearts, ace of clubs. I didn't even realize that when I was saying it.
right.
So nickel up in a strong no trump. Ralph will just transfer and give choice of games unless Nick gives some sort of super accept. I'm a big fan of super accepting whenever I have 4 card support for partners transferred suit. So either way, I think they're just going to play 4 hearts.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like a particularly exciting board here.
Well, it comes down to a club guess, right? Because the diamond's off. Spade's on, so you lose 1 spade and 2 diamonds. You have to guess the club, or they have to lead the club for you.
Sure.
So it does have potential for a swing. It might be a hard hand to get a full count on because you might never learn how the spades are split. They'll both follow twice and throw a spade or 2. But especially West may have some trouble discarding. Like they played 3 rounds of trumps. Does West even know what he can discard twice? It's not clear at all.
Yeah, the dreaded 4x1 problem. It's like they're drawing trumps, and you're sitting there thinking, which one of these 4 card suits do I need to keep?
Yeah, I mean, North could have like 4 spades and 2 clubs. Who would know? It'd be exact same thing.
Partly it's the jack of spades, and you win the ace and play a spade back. You might have an idea that you can pitch spades.
Maybe. I mean, maybe you can't even pitch one. If North had king 4th and let Jack 10 3rd,
Sure.
it's hard to. At least that would only be 1 trick. I mean, you could also just pitch like a spade, a club, and a diamond, and think you're guarding all your queens.
Or they can just lead a club and the hand's over.
That's another possibility. I mean, I can't really blame him for leading the club. It doesn't look too risky, and even here, it didn't give up a trick double dummy.
Yeah, and the club sort of aims towards the spot of just the easy beat if one partner has ace, king, X of clubs, and clubs are, you get your 3rd round club rough and the ace of diamonds.
So a little bit of an. I mean, he doesn't actually know he's made it yet. He still needs either the spade on side or the 4th club to be good. He could have led from the queen of clubs for all he knows.
Or something good in diamonds.
Right. So he can't claim yet, although it was a nice start. So West threw a spade on the first one. I mean, it's almost the same problem. East could have led from a doubleton club or four clubs. It's hard for West to know what to keep. Doubleton, or a singleton, you really don't want to throw one. I mean, a singleton wouldn't matter. It wouldn't be a trick anyway, but a doubleton would matter.
So Greco and Hampson did not bid 6 times, but they did not make it. Showing you the dangers of these hands where you need 3-2 trumps plus other stuff to happen. The other stuff didn't happen the way he wanted it to, so that's what well, I don't remember what the vulnerability was, but it's either 10 or 12 imps back to Rosenthal.
That's interesting. I wonder how the play went because it looked pretty friendly with that jack there to raise on side.
11.
Maybe set up clubs in some way that didn't work well. I mean, it's not even impossible, especially match points or something. You might just, I mean, the thing about finessing this is you have to get back to your hand, even if you're right, you'd have to get back to your hand for the fourth club. How would you plan on doing that? Heart to the jack, I guess. So now he knows when West follows the third time, this was a doubleton lead, unless he just violated their lead agreements because he played high-low.
So 6 diamonds went down when Greco tried to rough out the diamonds and got overroughed. So roughed out the clubs and got overroughed on the third club.
See, well,
That's all true, except it wasn't Greco. It was Hampson who was the declarer. He tried to rough 2 clubs in the dummy, and
so he led the first club from dummy or from his hand?
not the first club from the dummy, and it went ace, and he played low, and then he tried to rough 2 clubs in the dummy, and the 10 of diamonds scored a trick.
I see. I mean, it's not that ace king, they'd probably false card with the ace anyway, so he couldn't be sure what's happening. So now, this is interesting. It's gone well. He's got his king of clubs good, but he's in the hand he doesn't want to be in. Sometimes in this situation, you just think I can lose 2 diamonds anyway. I'll just lead a diamond toward the jack because you wouldn't want to lead a spade toward the king and have it lose. And in this sort of situation, West would never be going up with queen of diamonds anyway. So a spade to the jack forcing the ace, you could claim on anything they returned.
If you're Rosenthal at this point, I think you've got a wonderful scorecard. You've bid a grand, you've taken the opponents down in 2 freely bid slams and in a game. You're probably feeling like you may have made a significant comeback on this set.
Yeah, you beat Hampson in a couple of games he might have made. But the one of them you're about to lose 17 imps and you don't even know it.
Right.
Yeah,
Or 15 or whatever it is.
yeah, it was 17.
Yeah. It was a very pleasant or very unpleasant surprise, depending on which team you are.
Goes to show you that estimating imps, even at the highest levels, is fraught with danger. You never know what's going to happen.
Absolutely, you never know.
And we definitely owe Simpson an apology. As soon as we said, hey, they made a small comeback, Fleischer got 12 imps and 13 imps and is now pulled away on the set.
That match is back in the and this match has gotten a little tighter because the slam that we thought might make didn't.
So what would you do here? You don't want to lead a heart to the jack and then throw like a spade on the king of clubs because now you've only got 1 trump left. You could be in real danger.
Yeah, I think I was just gonna say right before he died, I think I just played the spade, and
I actually think I might have played a diamond to the jack. I liked it. If East had all the cards that you're missing, which is possible, you'd be safe and you might sneak it past the queen of diamonds and it's heading toward getting a diamond trick anyway.
yeah.
In this case, it's no problem. He had a diamond guess for an over trick.
The other room, they did lead the jack of spades to the ace and a spade back, and now declarer has drawn trump, 2 rounds of trump so far.
Have a real play problem on their hands. Okay, got the diamond wrong here to still make 4.
So might this be a spot where well, Hampson kept his spades and pitched a club and a diamond on the trumps. As you pointed out, it might not be obvious to keep the spades. And it wasn't. I mean, to throw the spades, and it wasn't. Of course, if you throw the spades, it might look like you're trying to guard queens and give away the show to declare that way.
Yeah. North had a normal no trump opener, but it goes to show a benefit of why some people like opening one no trump so often. You really hide your shape from the defense. You have no idea what to do sometimes. Look a hand like that. So here in North could make a 4-card overcall, or could double, or could pass.
I like one. What about you, Josh?
I'm totally fine with one spade. It's ace, king, queen, fourth. I mean, you're vulnerable is the only thing. But double, I think of the possibilities. If partner has 4 spades, we'll get to spades anyway. If they bid a no trump or 2 clubs, I'm fine. If they bid 2 diamonds, not so good, but it could be fine if they have 5 diamonds.
Right.
I think double and one spade are both fine. I wouldn't. You could pass out as a pass hand. I really think they're all on the game. I can't really rule out any of them waffling. This is
Rosenthal has misguessed the clubs, club to the jack, and Matalu to the queen.
so now he'll still have a diamond guess to make because one diamond goes on the long club.
Right.
There goes plan A. He's on to the 2 clubs showed I think a constructive or limit raise in hearts. 2 hearts said not interested. South could reopen doubles. A little scary, vulnerable. East could have a limit raise.
I think I've just seen a new record low for a jury bid with 7 count 'em high card points, one of which is a jack doubleton.
I've seen that sort of thing with 4 trumps. This one is pretty low.
I
It
mean,
was very effective at keeping them out. I'm sure if he bid 2 hearts pass, North would have balanced.
yeah. Sometimes it's effective at keeping them out. Sometimes it's effective in getting your side way too high. And
Yeah, I mean, keeping them out was valuable here because he's probably going to make exactly 2.
3+ constructive plus is the way he loaded it. So
Yeah, that's how he teaches it. I mean, I know Gavin well. I've helped him with a lot of his classes, and so I know a lot of his system that he likes. And he really is a fan of playing jury this way, so that 2 hearts can be a weak raise, and that you can stop if West is, some marginal invitation kind of end.
And we can see.
I know how he plays it, but it's surprising to me he considered this a constructive raise anyway. I mean, the Queen of Hearts and Ace of Diamonds are obviously very nice. It's still a random 7 count with a jack and 1. The part that surprised me, not so much the system part, the evaluation part.
right, sure.
He did very well here. So, I mean,
Queen
North is
jack
never playing.
clubs dropping doubleton. I think North South actually make 3 spades, but they would certainly expect to make 2.
Right.
So Hampson on winning the club gave declare a rough and slough
On which hand?
on the hand, the 4-heart hand where Rosenthal misguessed the clubs.
And that's enough. Now he has only 1 diamond loser at most.
Yeah, so now it's just on without the diamond guess.
I see he played a 3rd round of spade. Nickel tried to rent a spade rough, but he was a little too late. And now, after he rests the spade, I think East might as well play a club and postpone the diamond. You have the ace, so you could still do whatever you want in diamonds later on. Just do it now. I'll presume that South would have gone up king if he had it.
Right.
Which might have been very hard not to do.
Now
he has to play a club to even get any club tricks. Okay, he'll get to rough and make 4, and Gavin can say, "Sorry, partner, I should have bid more."
Yeah, sure.
Sarcastically. Sounds like a Ron Smith kind of comment. All right, now he could claim.
Claim.
Sometimes in this position, you throw the 9 of diamonds just to let them claim if that's what they have. Gavin's onto something. He kept them out of spades, and his side made 4 anyway. And he tapped at the safest level.
So in the other room, it has gone 1 heart, 2 hearts, and we'll see whether North comes back in.
Be pretty surprised if they didn't. A think there it's just a choice again between double and two spades.
I'd rather bid the first time. Get the hand off my chest.
Yeah.
It's nice,
So, yeah.
nice to know that they probably have an 8 card fit so that you're facing a likely Dumbleton heart. Makes your hand a little better, but you are bidding now at the 2 level instead of the 1 level. He did let it go.
2 hearts was passed out.
A trumpet is interesting. I wonder if this is just an attempt to make a little swing, because it seems pretty unusual not to be 5-5. And if you were going to make an exception, these suits aren't so robust that I'd consider this the hand to do it. Maybe this is just a way to make a swing, like north south could miss a heart fit now or something. Thing. So they're going to take 3 spades, and this hand is sort of. Let's face it, it's on the club guess. You could lead a club to the 10 and pick up the clubs, except you can't do that and ruff a diamond. You would lose your trump trick. So maybe you never want to play trumps. You want to play like ace of hearts, ace king of diamonds, king of hearts, rough a heart, rough a diamond, try to rough a heart. But a little short to me. I don't think we'll make.
Yeah, that first diamond rough doesn't come home.
Yeah.
And now the defense can play a club.
And north through a heart also. So you can't rough anything in either hand very easily anymore. I mean, he can't try to draw trumps. He at least needs 1 diamond rough to ever do anything, because 1 goes on the king of hearts.
Well, I can hook
He'll
for
go.
queen of
I
hearts.
think he'll go hard to the diamond to the king, king of hearts, ace of diamonds, and try to rough 1. Get over roughed, and depending what he tried to rough with, the defense will have 1 or 2 more trump tricks. Well, South could play another heart at that point, and they'll probably end up with 2 trump tricks after 3. You know, if they over rough and then 2 trump tricks, I think. But I doubled. I mean, he could certainly hold it to down 1. I mean, he could rough the diamond with the 4. And then on the heart return, he could rough with the 10, keeping north to just the queen of clubs. So he can go down 1. Down 2 is a more likely scenario. You realize, I'm glad we haven't been using the double dummy solver. Risk of get maybe a better analysis when you have to think about seeing it.
Sure. Sometimes if you don't use the double dummy solver, like there was a hand earlier in the previous quarter where the defense had an interesting counter to a potential semi-cross rough kind of hand, where they could lock the declare and dummy and eventually score their 7 of spades on power, and both defenders missed the opportunity to do so. Take 1 round of trumps and then try to do what you're suggesting, I guess.
Well, now if he roughs the 3rd diamond with the 8, if he goes diamond to the king, king of hearts, ace and rough a diamond with the 8, now for sure the defense can promote north 2 trump tricks. Try to rough the first. And what can South do after they over rough? They play a heart. Yeah, this was better. By not playing the king of hearts, he prevented South from leading a heart at a time north was out of hearts. That only get. Well, no, if he plays a spade, this is interesting. If he plays a spade, you can't rough with the jack, or north gets the queen and the 9. If you rough in the north hand, still can't rough or in the west hand, I mean, you still can't rough the diamond because north will get the queen and the 9. Play a club, north will get the diamond. So a spade gets the defense to trump tricks here, as far as I can tell. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, I think he knows a heart can only work if north had the king. It's a very interesting kind of position where a spade promotes a trump trick no matter which hand he roughs in. played the heart. What's I mean, it was hard play. I think you had to really see exactly what the other card without a lot of clues. Each hand.
You sounded just like a Kit Woolsey article there. You can see that a spade beats the hand too. You beat a heart.
When I first started reading those, I mean, this is like 12 years ago or something. It took a long time to get used to. I'm like, if a spade's right, play a spade. What are you talking about?
So Hampson had to get diamonds in on 26 of their table, and he did. So they only lost 2 for the 170, 110 comparison instead of 6 if he had misguessed them.
Okay. Has a sort of classic problem to double or not with not the perfect shape. 14 points. Also, you're vulnerable in partners with past 10. There is some danger, but you have the cards you have are nice cards.
Yeah, I like double, especially opposite a sound passer. You can, you might just have an easy 25.30 kind of hand here. Picture
Would double
part.
if the opponents weren't vol, but not if they were. Because my defense is pretty good. If I'm gonna just pass and defend, if they were vol, that would be a little more tempting to me. But that's just how close of a decision it is when you're considering the opponent's vol. It must be.
So opposite 1-0, Ralph was just going to let it go, but opposite 2-0, he would have been able to raise the game and get his side back into the 3-0 here. I might have missed.
So here they have 4 top tricks. The king of diamonds is on, and you might get another trick in either major. Also, the queen of clubs lead could actually promote a club trick for North in the ace and lead a club back toward the king 8.
There's something to be said for leading a small club if you're going to lead clubs. Hope the partner has the 10 and 1 or the king and 1, or sometimes even the
Very
8.
hard to say. Very hard to say. I mean, you certainly could lead a small club. North has ace 10 third and South has king third is kind of foolish. But he did very well leading a small club. That was good. I think this is a good lead, like you say, because North often has 4 clubs here. If North has 4 is when you want to lead low, because the queen will almost always, I should say, make his 4th club come into play.
Yeah, he sort of also has the hand where he needs to be optimistic that partner has some values with him to beat 1-0 trump. Partner passed the club, so they don't have a lot, but maybe what they have is something in clubs like 10 and 1 or king and 1 or something.
We do it before declare, kind of a simple line. We could win the ace of clubs and go diamond to the king and a diamond. The thing there is that's the ace of clubs is your one and only entry to your hand. Maybe you don't want to use it yet. You could win the king of clubs dummy and do the diamond toward the jack 8, which you might guess wrong by putting in the 8. Then East would continue clubs for sure. So that would get you kind of up to 6 tricks. You get 2 diamonds if you played on diamonds. Both majors are pretty friendly. I mean, a spade to the 10 or a heart to the 10 gets you a trick, or a heart to the queen. But of course, you don't know that.
You sort of want to knock out East's entry before the clubs are set up too, if you can.
You might even duck this, and if they're 5-1, anything West leads will be very, very good for you. Ducking this, I think, works really well on the action hand when they're 5-1. Maybe it's hard to perceive he led low from Queen Jack 9.
If they're playing 4th highest leads, he has to be leading from Queen Jack 9.
This is true. It could still be 4th. I mean, ducking this looks like a very good play.
Yeah, agreed.
If they return a club, you're really no worse off. You're just back where you were a tick ago.
Danny commented earlier, this is the kind of set you want if you want to come from behind. As it turns out, on this set thus far, Simpson has gained 2 and Nickel has gained 4. It really hasn't moved the match at all.
Yes,
interesting.
But the raw number of imps is 58 so far in this match in 11 boards. So certainly there were enough opportunities to get things going.
Could have been very successful if East had like Jack in 1 and North had king 3rd. Then it wouldn't give up any tricks and the defense could start setting up kids. I mean, here you sort of had to give up something. I mean, I guess a diamond doesn't technically give up a trick, but it's hard to do.
Yeah, and plus he starts building his long spades. With the king up behind the ace, he might actually get in and be able to enjoy his spades on some layouts. So spades seem very normal.
Maybe on this layout.
So now, what do you think Nick's going to try a low diamond towards his jack?
I mean, he could just try a heart to the queen, but East open the bidding. He doesn't really expect West to have the king of hearts most of the time.
Yeah, heart towards the queen feels bad, especially if it goes queen king and now a heart comes through the ace 10 and yeah.
I think a diamond, but if West does, I think most people would play the 8 here. You know, you can finesse West for the queen or the 10, which and it may not even be detrimental if he plays the 8 because he could still lead toward the king later.
Mhm.
And there's a lot more when you can't see the opponent's hands. You have no clue what to do on a hand like this. This is the kind of hand that's much easier seeing all the hands.
There's the diamonds of the 8 as predicted. Well done, Josh. Presumably
Now,
Gavin will clear
for
spade.
sure, he'll play a spade. For all he knows, his partner is queen jack fifth. So he not play jack 9 fifth, and they would set it up.
And he'll clear spades playing queen of spades, 9 of spades, presumably.
Yes. I mean, could duck this. We don't want to. What do you do? So he ducks it. Okay. I mean, sometimes the instinct is I don't want to get thrown in with it later. Like, imagine West gets thrown in with his spades and has to lead a heart from the king later on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now you're going to lead a diamond toward dummy for sure. In fact, if East plays low, you could even misguess again. You probably wouldn't, given the opening bid, and that you don't want West on lead, but it's a thing that could happen.
I've done that before. You lose 3 tricks on this layout where yeah.
Okay.
All right, so now he's gonna clear diamonds.
Clear diamonds. Diamond could just
He's
doesn't
got
actually
2
matter what he
diamonds,
plays.
clubs,
Play a
2
club or a heart.
spades.
He might want to play the heart to get his partner off the end play. So now they could go club, club, and exit spade. Well, they have a diamond winner too. Well, they could go club, club, diamond, squeezing West out of one of the spades and then exit spade.
Mm-hmm.
So this could still make.
He's already made it, right? He's got 2 more clubs as 5, ace hearts as 6, and diamond 7.
Oh, yeah, I could make it. You're right about that, of course. It could make another trick.
Yeah.
He probably won't. I mean, if there's any risk to his contract, he won't do it. But I think it's pretty safe to play. You don't even have to take the last club. You could just play a diamond, and then for safety, don't take the club and play a spade. And then you'll just guess what to do when West plays a heart. You might guess wrong anyway. It's a pretty safe try for an over trick.
Yeah, so exiting a spade, that's just gives the defense their 4th and 5th trick. So there's no possible danger at this point to doing that.
If you don't take your club, I mean, you don't even have to think about their shapes. Nothing could happen, even if they could somehow exit club. I mean, West showed out already, but even if that was somehow possible.
So I forget exactly what Gavin has shown up with, and he might have a high card count on the hand to know that Gavin would have opened a no trump if he had the king of hearts as well. So what did he show up with so far? The queen jack of clubs, the king of spades is 6, and the ace of diamonds is 10. That's not enough. So
It's either 11 or 13. He doesn't, and Kevin would have opened this 11 because he knows he has queen jack 9 fifth of clubs and the 10 of diamonds,
yeah.
and he's
So
third seat. So really, there's not much clue. It's sort of a straight guess.
he does exit the spade.
You could club and then a heart from both hands, and you just make your best guess when West plays one. And it was a nice safe try for an over trick. So this is played well by Nick. Even if he misguesses, I'll say he played it well.
This is the sort of hand that you might not get, you might just carelessly cash out later in the event when you're tired and not really focused, but he was still focused on this, even this one little imp that potentially could swing.
Oh,
But he gets
hard
it
to blame
wrong.
him. Just played Gavin for 13 points.
Yeah. All that for naught.
Yeah.
But he gets style points for at least getting himself into a spot where he could have guessed it.
Yeah. I think I would have gotten it wrong. I mean, you play the opener for 13 points. Plus, if West had the king of hearts, they might have won the second spade and played a third. Maybe.
They might have also responded 1 spade with the actual hand they had, which I was a little surprised they didn't, but
Yeah. So getting it wrong does not look unusual at all.
no.
Well, here's another slam off an ace king.
Well, it's also a 3 and a trump off the entire spade suit where 5 clubs will make in comfort. So choice of games is what's really important here.
Yeah. In fact, you're much more likely to make 6 clubs by East than 3 and a trump by West.
And Nick does not overcall. If he overcalled a spade, I think East West would have had an easy time avoiding 3-0 trump. As it is, Wellington is he just gonna, what's he gonna do
I
here?
mean, he's got to think about slam. If East had one less spade and one more anything else, it would be a slam.
Right. He's got a strong enough hand that he's not gonna just pot out 3-0 trump, so.
Why did he bid one? I mean, one diamond's interesting on its own. I think he is, judging by this and by the 2-0 trump bid, I think he is trying to swing a little bit.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So he's looking for opportunities, but now he doesn't really have a rebid. There's no rebid that shows I didn't have my one diamond bid. I mean, he could bid two hearts, and if he bids 3 diamonds, he could just bail out and club at any point he wants, I guess.
Now that he knows his partner doesn't have 4 spades, it's somewhat, he's just bidding key card for clubs here.
Right. So he's just going for the swing. I mean, he does have the 12 tricks.
Yep.
So they're about to bid slam, and I mean, it's about what Ralph leads. It seems like you do lead either ace or maybe even a low spade. I could definitely see a low spade on this auction.
Yeah.
Because West, you would expect, has a spade control. Of course, you don't expect they have a control in neither major. And a heart might be a safe lead, but what are you going to get? I mean, your queen third of diamonds is under the one diamond bid in the strong hand. I'd be very worried about a diamond suit and dummy.
Yeah,
I had to
the
take
queen
two
third of
spades or more.
diamonds. The queen third of diamonds argues strongly in favor of trying to cash out.
Right. So on a low spade, it's not like a hand where North has only the king and might not play it. They just can't go wrong here on any spade lead.
Yep.
And I wonder how much difference it makes if you think your opponents are swinging, right? If they're more likely to be bidding things that maybe have two top losers here.
It's a good point.
Makes you more inclined to lead an ace, although I think this hand itself does enough speaking in that regard.
Yeah, the low spade. I'm not surprised at all. I mean, Ralph's no dummy. He saw the 2-0 trump bid. He knows Chris is swinging here. Not on this hand necessarily, but overall.
So Nick's gonna play the queen, and he's gonna say, "Really? I won that trick? Very nice."
I'm not surprised by this in any way. It was a hand in our match against Fleischer, where against a partial, it looked clear to me to lead a low heart from ace fifth against 2 spades, and I did, and it gained the trick. And the other table did the exact same thing. It was just a hand where nothing else appealed on lead.
So you can see that under leading aces is for top level experts and for the very lowest level club players who are originally taught just lead fourth being longest and strongest. They just always under lead aces no matter what the hand is. It's
True.
the players in between that don't under lead aces very often.
It's not something I look to do, but sometimes it just seems called for. I'm not surprised he did it here at all. You could just see West with the king of spades, and suddenly their bidding looks very normal. I mean, maybe with one more diamond,
So for those of you who are not familiar with this little message we're getting from Lovebridge, we're playing enough faster than another table that we need to slow down and allow that table to catch up and start. So in real life, they have not started board 30 at one of the tables. So we're just going to wait for them to start that board.
It's the Simpson-Rodwell table is the slowest of the four.
That's
it's not very slow.
It's not hugely surprising at all.
Okay. And then we get this interesting feature where the broadcast gets sped up, so we finish on time effectively.
It's a nice feature. So one club, West bids a hearts, East bids probably a spade, but even a no trump is possible.
I like a spade. I don't want to necessarily play no trump from my side anyway with this sort of hand, and I am 5-4, although my clubs are the second nut low clubs. Third nut low clubs.
It wouldn't the second nut low be 2, 3, 4, 5, 7?
Yeah, no, that's the nut low club. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 7.
Oh well, in poker, not in bridge.
Yeah.
I suppose it's slightly different. So you bid one spade, now 2 diamonds, 4 suit. East might bid 2 spades, which some play will show a hand like this. Basically, nothing else appealing to do. Oh, 2-0 trump has ace king of diamonds. I mean, some people will bid 2 hearts on a doubleton. I think he would do that if he had ace king of hearts and 2 little diamonds. 2-0 trump, he'll just bid 3-0 trump. I think can't see why he'd do anything now. 3 spades. I think he's still swinging. Honestly, this looks so unusual to me. When partner showed 5 clubs and diamond stop, a heart fit.
Yeah.
I think he's just going for swings, basically.
2, 4, 5, 7.
Very interesting to watch.
Yep. Well, it does have the sort of hand that you can imagine where 300 trump might fail and 4 spades and a 4-3 fit might work, but.
I mean, maybe a partner was shorter in clubs. It's hard to imagine when partner has 5 clubs now. If once they did show 5 clubs. Well, he's certainly not thinking about slam. He's missing a trump, aside from being not having not a lot of extra value.
Right.
Now they're in a, I mean, 4 spades very well might make, but it's a lot trickier contract. So how do you approach 4 spades? 1, 2, 3. You have 7 top tricks. And a whole lot of roughs you might take, basically.
2, 4, 5. So you have 7. So you have 7 aces and 2 club ruffs, and the dummy is 9, and hope to score one of your long trumps in your hand.
Yeah, just get a diamond rough in your hand. That would work.
Yeah.
Except with
Maybe,
5 on
there might
top.
be other possibilities, though. And also, one of the hearts is being roughed, by the way.
Right, that's the
That is-
problem.
Yeah, he's going to need to lead towards that king of hearts to have any chance. If he lays down the king of hearts, he's going to be in big trouble. Yeah.
Oops. That's shorten one of Sal's long trumps. But the problem is really that Declare is just lacking tricks.
Yeah.
Would he actually figure out to play a spade now that he's seen dummy? And now that, you know, he knows hearts are covered. He knows from his hand they want to rough clubs. I mean, I think he's gonna play a trump.
Declare didn't play spades, so probably it's right for your side to do so.
Yeah, you would play the 9 here so that if partner did have the jack, they couldn't really make a mistake. You would play like the 7 and have North play the jack. Okay, so he did play the 9.
It's a nice, careful play by Ralph. Yeah.
I mean, this just goes to show the dangers of swinging. You know, Chris knows that this is not like the best way to play bridge. He's just trying to win a swing. But you could lose a lot of swings this way too, and the match can get out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
It may still be his best chance to win the match, but it's hard to say.
Yeah, I mean, coming into the set, there were still 45 boards to go, and they were down 70 something. It's a pretty significant margin, but it's not one that certainly can't be overcome.
Well, I think conversely, though, while Rosenthal, Silverstein think they've had a great set, Wolpert, Willington know they've had a really poor set. And so they probably think they're down by 100 or so.
So he's actually going to make this, by the way. This is very interesting. He exits club, and if South plays a spade, he plays the last club. Oh no, but he's going to play a diamond in a rough with the spade, so he's not going to make it. But he was very close. He was trying to get either that position or just let him get a rough with the 4 of spades. He's going to get close, but Ralph can play a diamond and North roughs with the jack of spades.
Yeah, that was the goal. Was to try to get that 4 of spades as the 10th trick.
Yeah. If Ralph played a spade, he'd make by playing the last club.
I mean,
if Ralph plays a diamond, Nick just has to rough it. Which, if you were asleep or not thinking about the whole hand, you might pitch on the queen of diamonds. Stay.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I expect him to rough it. Yeah. Otherwise, your jack of spades isn't doing anything anyway. Even if the queen of diamonds would have,
Well done. All right, so this concludes our set of this table. Do you want to jump over to the other table and see how they handle the last few boards?
Was the no trump where he had the end play that he didn't guess right.
I think they're in 2 hearts in that hand.
They're in 2 hearts.
Yeah, the 2 heart bid by Hampson shows 5-4 in the majors with not a whole lot of points. So he made 2 hearts. They made a contract at both tables.
And as you can see, the gap is up to 82 with only 30 boards to go.
Yeah.
It's 31.
And we know it's growing because Rosenthal is a very bad result on each of the last 2 hands. I mean, this one might not be so bad because 3 trump doesn't make. It's not good. You can make 5 clubs, and actually, you could easily make 4 hearts if you decided to bid it. Those are the 2 games that make 4 hearts is. Well, I guess it's no better than 5 clubs at match points. It's an equally good. But yeah, if match points, 4 hearts making 5 would be your best contract, wouldn't it?
And just for the viewers, that's not a strong 2 club, that's a precision 2 club, showing this kind of strength with 6 clubs.
Josh, twice in my life I've played 4-2 fits on these sorts of hands, knowing that I had a solid 4-2 fit and a side 2 card, a side doubleton opposite doubleton.
Yeah.
And it was the right single dummy contract, but both times trumps went 5-2. And
that is very sad to hear.
proper both times.
I've seen the 4-2 fit. I think I've done it once or twice. Only once in my life did I ever see a 3-3 fit in a major was the best contract, where
Yeah.
it was even if they let it trump, you had a solid 3-3 fit, and you had 5 winners outside and no more. So in 3-no trump, you had 8 tricks, and in the suit, you could take the 5 outside winners and cross rough.
Yeah. So one of them was actually in a border match event, and very famous hand because Larry Cohen wrote it up. He and his partner bid to 6-no trump off the entire suit, the two little opposite two little I mentioned. And one of the opponents who was on lead with the ace king doubled. Larry ran to 7 clubs, and then the other opponent didn't know what suit was cashing. And actually made 7 clubs doubled, whereas I was in 4 of my 4 hearts, down 2 or 3 on the 5-2 fit. He wrote this hand up and said, the geniuses will play 4 hearts on this hand. It's like, oh, well. But no. So, all right. So what's going on here? Back at Greco's up precision 2 clubs.
Click is a minimum, 3 diamonds, that's in shortness.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to get to 3-no trump. He's just making sure partner's not short in spades, short being a singleton. If it's a doubleton, it's sort of just too bad, I think.
Yeah. So Aaron's going to have no reason to lead a spade instead of a heart, I would imagine.
Right. The right hand on lead. I mean, North didn't double 2 or 3 diamonds. 3 diamonds anyway. He won't lead a diamond. Won't lead a club. You could lead a spade. A spade is more likely to run if you hit partner, whereas a heart, you need partner to have very strong ones. Plus, a spade partner is more likely to have 5 of them.
Right. The Woolsey theory: lead a 5-card suit. If you don't have one, lead partner's 5-card suit.
Yeah, I think a spade is actually it's so easy to say now. We could see the hand.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really blame him. He led a heart, but I think a spade is really might be called for.
Yes, I agree. I think they got plenty of tricks, unless you can take the first 5.
Right. I mean, it could easily lose 1 trick, but it probably won't lose the game going trick.
So
he's looking for queen of 1 diamond, and then I think.
We can tell Greco that whether he makes 12 tricks or 13 is not, okay. He just
asked them, is the queen of diamonds falling?
Yeah. All right, another big swing to nickel. Margin's up to 91 now.
And as Josh noted, last board isn't going to get better.
Yeah, the Rosendahl didn't end with good results, unfortunately for them. And this is a hand that, if you're not swinging, you really won't struggle to get to 3-no trump. We didn't actually analyze how 3-no trump would do, by the way, because it only has 7 top tricks.
Right.
And none of the suits are breaking. They might easily go down in 3-no trump.
Yeah, I think you would. I think you just don't have any way to go for tricks.
What can you really do? If he's a heart, it doesn't lose a trick. South fades. As long as North plays the 8, it doesn't lose a trick. Anyone leads a diamond. I mean, South could lead a diamond and North could withhold the jack. It wouldn't lose a trick. I mean, it could make a mistake, but it's hard for the defense to even make a bad lead here.
How does I see hearts? The hearts are 5-1, but you have a lot of tricks via a scramble in hearts. You've got the same 7 aces. You can rough 1 diamond in the dummy safely as 8 and 2 clubs in your hand for 10, if you can time it right.
It's true. I just don't see why they would bid it though.
No,
I mean, it's interesting. Yeah, I think you're right.
I think
things are going against you. You get to 4 hearts. You double it on the north hand happily, and then they make it. Yeah.
You double 4s, and then they run to 4 now. All right, so diamond, a heart, a spade.
I mean, if each shows 5 clubs, and Aaron could go for a swing by doubling a 3-no trump clubs.
Yeah,
but of course it's risky. I mean, also he probably knows his partner had 5 hearts, so he might see that it would be hard for them to come to tricks. But the thing is, West is going to show a game for us and never really limit his hand. So, South doesn't know their partner really has much of anything at all.
South is going to lead against no trump, as it turns out.
Yeah. I mean, if you're playing this hand, you probably just duck a heart at trick 2, I think. You just hope hearts are 3-3, or if they're 4-2, you set up 1 anyway.
Sure.
The defense could make, as the cards are, is leading a club and then taking all the clubs and making the 5th club good. That would get declare up to 8 tricks. And we do know where there's 8, there's often 9. Don't know where the 9th would be, but possibility. I mean, he's probably leading a club here, right? unless two
King
nine
clubs
clubs
look
said some
normal, yep.
shade. Queen of clubs showing the king, and then Andrew encourages. You could definitely see them taking all the clubs after he ducks a heart, trick two. I can't imagine what else he would do at trick two other than duck a heart. If North goes up Queen of Hearts and plays Jack of Clubs, I think Aaron will at least realize at that point Declare has 5 clubs, so he might overtake it and switch. But what would he even want to switch to? It's not clear.
Well, there's the low heart.
Gonna play the Queen of Hearts, right?
Yep.
And he's gonna play the Jack of Clubs. How does North know South doesn't have 5 clubs, right? And now, because partner played the Jack and South has the 10, this is where he knows East has 5 clubs. So maybe he should at least consider not running all the clubs.
Yeah, but I think this is one club too many, potentially.
Well, this is going to be the 8th trick. Still not any idea. I mean, really not an idea where the 9th comes from. I mean, it's sort of like a double squeeze looking thing where South has spades and North has hearts, but those are both over the threats.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think there might be a mistake needed for Trump to make.
Diamonds are not fluid either. Just a sort of
Right.
awkward to declare. They know
I mean, now,
South knows he needs to keep the spades.
yeah, South is reluctant to take the last club. Yeah, and South also has to discard twice on Ace King of Hearts. This is all, it's getting closer. Um, hmm. I mean, what would South even play? He could play a spade and just play partner for the Jack. If he said the Jack, he could make anyway if he guessed, or he would, he could just anyway.
Partner could give him some guidance here on the king of clubs. He's playing the lowest heart.
Well, East opened as it is, but then 11 counts. So he knows, South knows North has either one, both, neither, or one of the Jacks, and that's it. It would be sort of natural if East had the Jack of Spades to keep a 3rd spade in dummy, I think. So maybe there's a little bit of a clue North has the Jack of Spades.
Mm-hmm.
If Aaron does switch to a diamond, does Andrew have to not play the Jack?
I think it doesn't matter because they've already got, defense has 4 tricks already. I mean, it could cost 1 diamond trick in the suit itself. Oh, the Queen of Diamonds.
That's one way to stop.
I like that because now you can guard the spades. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
In case you needed all 4 spades.
Thoughtful play by Aaron. I don't want partner to play the Jack, so I'll play the Queen myself.
So he just had to know or have concluded that East had only 2 diamonds, because this wouldn't have been very good if North had Jack and 1 diamond. Or spade on this, play diamond to the king, and play your last club, but nothing really happening. They'll both have it.
Just another push.
Alrighty.
Thank you, gents. So we're wrapping up this segment. We have a break now for the final 2 segments. Neither of these matches is particularly close. The other match is a 70 gap at this point. But with luck, we'll tighten up in the penultimate segment. See you all in about an hour and a half, I believe.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Thanks, Danny. Thanks, Josh. Yep, as expected, North can hold the red suits. Aaron will get the last spade trick. A down 1 and a push on the board. Thank you to all the viewers. Glad you were with us. And we'll see you in a while. Cheers,
Thanks,
guys.
bye.